Hello everyone. Today I want to share about Genesis chapter 12. Let's read it together. Genesis 12 verse 1 to 3. Now the Lord said to Abram, "Go from your country and your kindred and your father's house to the land that I will show you. And I will make of you a great nation, and I will bless you and make your name great, so then you will be a blessing. I will bless those who bless you, and him who dishonor you I will curse. And in you all the families of the earth shall be blessed." From these verses, I want to share about the covenant. In Genesis 12, we can see the covenant between God and Abram. And then God is the one who initiated this covenant. God's commandment in this covenant is a two thing. Number one, leave your comfort zone, leave your family, leave your father's house. And second commandment is go to already prepared land. In other aspect, go to uncertain. It is a from the Abram's perspective. Abram did not know where he needs to go, but however, from the God's perspective, it is already prepared the land. God already prepared. God already decided where He will send Abram. So anyway, two commandments in the covenant. Number one, leave your comfort zone. Number two, go to uncertain but already prepared the land. So here, God, after God commencement, the God also promised him. Number one is a blessing. In the covenant, God filled the promise with the blessing. And then God promised that he will make Abraham a great nation. And also, God also promised a great favor. So he will make Abraham a blessing. So whoever bless him, they will also blessed. But whoever dishonor them, they will be cursed. So it is really Abraham-centered favor. Okay. So let's see. This diagram really described about the comfort zone and growth zone. So the comfort zone where we feel safe, and then the in some aspect we can control the situation, and then low risk, right? But if we get out of the comfort zone, maybe we feel fear because we have a low self confidence, and then uncertain. Like Abraham, maybe it will be uncertain. So uncertainty will give us the fear. However, when we go process, we will learn about the new things through our try and errors. We learn, and then through that we will grow. So getting our comfort zone will take some risk, but in the end it will make us growth. Here Abraham also in comfort zone. When he was in a comfort zone, God commanded him get out his comfort zone. So God urged Abraham to leave from his comfort zone. God commanded Abraham to move to another place to make him a great nation, not to make him in trouble. So we have to see God commanded Abraham to get out of his comfort zone. His purpose is to make him a great nation, right? He doesn't want to put the Abraham in a danger as he make Abraham get out of the comfort zone. So when God tells us to get out of our comfort zone, we should remember God's faithfulness. We have to trust that. We should remember God's faithfulness to make our lives better. When we follow him, we will arrive at the best place according to his will. So when God commands us to get out of the comfort zone, we have to do it because the end is our growth. And then God accomplish his will. And then here we can see how Abram moved. He was in the Ur. From here, it was 11 31, it was written he left there, Ur, and then he was in the Haran. So, and then when he left from the Haran, he was already 75 years old and he was with Lot. And then from there, he moved, and in chapter 12, verse 5 to 8, tells us that he arrives at Canaan and he arrived here. After that, he moved forward until Egypt. So from here, he moved like this. So it showed that how Abraham is following God's commandment. And Genesis chapter 12, verse 7, I want to read it together. Then the Lord appeared to Abram and said, "To your offspring, I will give this land." So he built there an altar to the Lord who had appeared to him. Okay, so here I added the emphasis. To your offspring, I will give this land. This land was Canaan. Okay, from here, when Abraham arrived here, God appeared to him and promised that I will give this land to your offspring. Okay, why I emphasize this one? The covenant between God and Abraham. God promised that I will give this land to your offspring. Okay, so this why I emphasize this one. Let's see how God accomplished this promise in the Bible. Okay, so Genesis chapter 12:3 tells us that I will bless those who bless you, and him who dishonors you I will curse, and in you all the families of the earth shall be blessed. So here is a favor. Maybe I can say that it is Adam centered, the Abraham centered favor. Because whoever blessed Abraham, they will be blessed. And if anyone dishonor or curse him, it will cause their curse also. That is a God's promise. And Genesis chapter 12, verse 12 to 13 tells that, and when the Egyptians see you, they will say, "This is his wife." Then they will kill me, but they will let you live. Say, "You are my sister, that it may go well with me because of you. Then my life may be spared for your sake. Why I present here these two verses is that we have to remember God already promised to bless him. And then God promised that he will bless those who bless him, but those who dishonor him will be cursed. God promised this one, but this verse does not demonstrate Abraham's faithfulness to God's promise. God promised him that he will bless him. However, he make his own strategy to live, to survive, right? So we have to see that Abraham was on a comfort zone and he is moving. Now he is in the fear zone. So though God promised him, he still fear. That's why he make his own strategy. He did not arrive here yet. So in the case, when you think that you are in a fear zone, focus on God's commandment and his promise. Abraham chose his strategy for his safety. However, it was wrong from God's view because God clearly blessed, and then God clearly promised to bless him and bless those who bless him. When we depart from our comfort zone, we have to hold God's promise to overcome our fear and uncertainty. If not, we fall down and fail to accomplish our mission, though it is needed for our growth. God wants us to get out of the comfort zone for our growth and to accomplish His will through us. However, when we face the fear zone, we have to focus on God's commandment and His promise. So, lessons from Genesis 12. Number one, remember God keeps His promise. As we continually read the Genesis, we will see how God keeps His promise. right? And then number two, if God tells us to leave from our comfort zone, we should do it because God command us to do it with good purpose. He has very good purpose for us. That's why we can obey him. Number three, focus on God's commandment and his promise for our steadfast faith. When I get out of the comfort zone, automatically, maybe naturally, we will fear. We will feel in the fear zone. Maybe we want to go back to the comfort zone rather than go forward to the growth zone. However, in that case, we have to focus on God's commandment and his promise. That is how we can overcome our fear and go forward. So, faithing forward. Remember, God is promise keeper, and then we can overcome our fear when we focus on God's promise and His faithfulness. God bless you.